What is up, Nerds Nation? Welcome to the Effin' Nerds podcast with the most dynamic duo in all of podcasting. I'm Nick Denizio, and across from me is my boy, Martin Moreno.
What is up?
How we doing?
Who's Batman? Who's Robin?
You could be Batman in this situation.
Boom.
So this is officially episode 21, and today we're going to be recapping some of the big news that has dropped over the past few weeks, I would say. But before we get started, if you guys are watching on YouTube, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else, please check back each week as we try to upload new content for you guys to listen to. So before we get into all this good stuff, I also wanted to mention too, guys, please go to our Instagram page and check out this super awesome video we did highlighting the last decade. Came out really good.
Came out really nice. We're very proud of it. And we appreciate all the sort of love that I got. A lot of people shared it. A lot of people commented, liked it. So definitely go check it out. We think it's something special.
It's pretty cool.
And I've seen a lot of, we've seen a lot of decade videos, and that's kind of like the competition.
Yeah, definitely.
You always kind of like scout the competition. Yes. And you always you want to like match up. Like I think we did a pretty good job.
I think we did a pretty good job.
I think we go toe to toe with a lot of these people.
Well, and I've seen a lot of people do like these really big like compilations, like where it's like 10 minutes long and it goes through like different songs and all this other stuff, which I would like to do at some point. But ours is just a very simple idea, one song, and I think we do a really good job of capturing that magic.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Magic indeed.
It was pretty good. So definitely go check that out. And let's go into some podcasting shoutouts.
Boom.
So I think the first one that I want to shout out is the Cast of Color.
Okay.
And we kind of found them through, I guess, after I started listening to Critical Ave and following some people from them. That's kind of how I came across the Cast of Color. And they are a podcast where they talk about just all kinds of pop culture and entertainment similar to us. And it's really awesome. It's two guys that do it. And they talk about a lot of similar stuff that we do. The episode I listened to, they went into the Oscar controversy, and they're out in LA, so they're kind of at the forefront of all this kind of stuff. And it was awesome listening to their like perspectives on things. They also they gave a review on Mulan, and
which we still have to do.
And then they also talked about the Dune trailer as well.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Still hurts.
But it was a really fun listen, and I can't wait to check out more of their stuff. And they're definitely a podcast that's well worth checking out.
Cool. I also want to check them out. I'm not too familiar with them. You kind of introduced me to them, so to speak. We haven't had a chance to listen to them. There's something that I want to say real quick before we continue on.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I want to get this off my chest because we try to be pretty transparent here.
Yeah.
I have not had the chance to listen to a lot of the podcasts that we follow and interact with like in the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
As some of you may know, if you listen to the actually, I don't think the 10 Things I Hate About You discussion's out yet.
It hasn't come out yet. Okay. It's coming out.
But Nick and I took like a 2 or 3 week break to kind of get caught up with some stuff, get caught up with work in regards to the podcast and just in general. And we had some very serious effing nerds meetings, so to speak.
Yep.
To kind of think of how we can move the show forward, how we can make it better, some things that we wanted to improve. Because we're still figuring it out.
Yep.
We're still a lot of this is still very new to us, and so we've been extremely busy the past 2 and 3 weeks, and I haven't personally had a chance to listen to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But this week, moving forward, I'm going to get caught up on a lot.
You have homework. You have a lot of homework.
Well, what if I didn't?
And one of those people and one of those podcasts that I'm going to be getting caught up on are the Arnies. So we met the Arnies a while back. They pretty much started around the same time that we did, like around May. And it's Austin, Keith, and Matt. And they talk, 3 dudes. They talk a lot about movies, talk a lot about TVs, talk a lot about games. And they're very fun to listen to. They do a lot of, sketches, so to speak, where they kind of pretend to be other people. So, for example, like one of the like Star Wars episodes that they had, like one of them was pretending to be like George Lucas talking to Lucasfilm.
Right.
You know what I mean, like that. Or like, for example, like the Palm Springs review.
Yes.
They were pretending to be like stuck in a time loop.
Right.
So like, all right, guys, that does it. And then it continued over to the next episode. I hope I'm not spoiling it.
Oh, that's really cool.
But I was like listening to it, and then I listened to the next episode, and it started off again. They were like, all right, guys, we're doing the Palm Springs review. And I was like, what the fuck? Did this repeat?
Yeah.
And it was just them pretending to be like in a time loop.
Right.
But they have a lot of fun. Like I mentioned, since we were really busy this past couple of weeks, we are now starting to sort of settle down a little bit, and we hope to collab with other podcasts, them being one of the people that we hope to collab with.
Right.
And it'll get very interesting because I'm not going to say any names, but some of the people on there have issues with Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker.
Oh boy.
So some virtual hands are going to be thrown.
I don't want to have to do this! Ow, Ray, you're crazy, man! About the devil in my house! We're friends! Yes, I know we are! That's why you suck!
In our collabs, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well,
but definitely check them out.
They also get the credit for our
Nut job.
our Hollywood Nut Job of the Week
Yes, they do.
segment that we do.
Yes, they do. But they're a lot of fun. 3 great guys, so definitely go check them out.
Yeah. So my next one is Gleam in the Tube, and Gleam in the Tube is one that
Fucking love Gleam in the Tube.
that we kind of discovered early on as well.
Yeah, about 2. They were like kind of like a middle tier.
I would say the first episode I remember listening to was way back in the summer, and it was their Predator episode.
Yeah, but remember I hit you up. So I came across Gleam in the Tube, and then I'm listening to the first episode, and they did the recap on Drive.
Yes.
And right off the bat, they were like, Drive's probably my favorite film of the decade. And I texted you, I was like, bro,
I found him.
you gotta check these people out.
Well,
same wavelength.
Let's play a game, all right? On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. Don't even think about it. Just name it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
I think it's L and J are their names, and they to me are like the closest I found in terms of like relatability to like us. Like they
Correct.
remind me a lot of like us in terms of like their likes, how they discuss films. They also love video games, which I do too. So like that's another thing to kind of jump on with kind of the relation that we have, and I just love how they just shoot the shit
They
and
bring
just
up
talk about
great
movies.
points. A lot of times when
Great
we're
points.
listening to them, they'll bring up something, and we both look at each other. We're like, "Holy shit, that's
Yeah.
actually a fantastic point."
Yeah, I would agree. And then one episode I listened to just recently was when they did Heat, and
Which is-
I would say for all the listeners out there, Heat is probably my all-time favorite movie.
Why'd I get mixed up with that bitch?
Because she got a great ass!
So it was awesome just hearing more people talk about how great
that's
that
actually
movie is.
yeah, it's interesting because I've been wanting to talk to you about that.
Why I think he's my all-time
No,
favorite movie.
I wanted to tell you, like, bro, have you checked out
Oh,
Gleam
yeah,
Heat?
yeah.
Because
Yep,
I know
yep.
how much you love that film.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I haven't, like I said, I haven't had a chance to check that one out yet. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting caught up on the episodes as well because I really do enjoy your talks. And like we always have great discussions on Instagram. I apologize. I can't remember which one is the one that has like a music background, which we had a big.
I
Obviously,
think it might be Jay.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I listened to some of his stuff, and it was great. And I look forward to doing more of like those sort of music discussions and incorporating music into the show.
Right.
That's one of the things that we discussed during our F and Nerds meeting.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely check them out. I really like Gleam in the Tube. They're great.
Yeah, I would say that they're one to definitely seek and check out.
Correct. My next one is I Drink Your Podcast. Matt, Ben, Wes, and Emily. They're also someone who launched their podcast around the same time that we kind of launched our page, like right around May. And again, lots of fun. And they have a very interesting theme with their podcast. They only cover movies from the year of 2007. So what you hear about it, it's like, okay, that's cool, I guess. But then because there are another podcast that we're hoping to collaborate with very soon.
Yeah.
And we were trying to find 4 movies from 2007 to kind of pitch to them that we can discuss.
Yes.
And then when we were looking through all those movies from 2007, we were like, holy shit.
There's actually a lot of bangers from
2007 was a
2007, yeah.
stacked year.
Yep,
so
yep.
that makes sense. I don't know who came up with it. I still don't really necessarily know where that idea came. But it was a great idea because it was a great year for film. But yeah, they're from Minnesota, and me being a massive Fargo fan, I love the Minnesota accent comes up every now and then throughout different episodes, and it always puts a smile on my face.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, is that useful to you?
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.
But they always add like a new sort of element to it. So like they'll discuss the movie, and then they'll have like a debate and like kind of game, so to speak, to kind of make the discussion more fun.
Right.
And it's always a fun listen. I really enjoy their chemistry, so definitely go check them out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm also a big fan of them, and Emily has given us a couple of shout outs every now and then, like on Twitter, because Emily does this really cool thing where she goes on like her runs.
Yeah.
And as she's running, she listens to different podcasts, and then she shouts those podcasts out. So I thought that was a pretty awesome.
Which is actually what I do too whenever I go on my bike rides.
Right. You
So
listen to
I'll
different
listen to
podcasts.
different podcasts, just kind of get me through through my rights. And I will also say that out of a lot of the podcasts that we came across, Emily's got like a top 3 podcasting voice. Out of like all the podcasts, like she's definitely up there. So
I'm actually glad you mentioned I Drink Your Podcast, because Verbal Diorama is my next pick, and I've kind of found them through I Drink Your Podcast. So every Friday on Twitter, there's like a Follow Friday kind of thing that goes on.
Which is
where
fucking insane.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, my fucking phone just, oh my God, dude. I appreciate all the love.
Yeah.
It's great, but like, it's just...
Oh, no, your phone blows up.
It blows up. Yeah, and I'm just like, whew.
For sure. And so one of the ones that we were, I guess, tagged in, they had commented, and I think it was Emily that, I don't know if she actually runs the official I Drink Your Podcast Twitter account, but somebody had commented about how Emily loves Verbal Diorama.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I gotta check them out. So I listened to the Nice Guys episode. And
you love the Nice Guys.
I love the Nice Guys.
Yeah.
So the host of it, her name is M, and she basically just kind of does like a deep dive into all these different movies. And the thing that I love about it is, one, she's extremely passionate. 2, she gives such a history on the movie, like from the production side of it to its release to little trivia stuff behind it. And the other thing is that she's so well spoken. It's not like me, how I like fucking fumble and stubble and stutter through my reads.
Fix a lot in post.
We do fix a lot in post, but she's just so precise, and it's awesome. And like I said, how passionate she is just really comes through. And for a podcast to where it literally just gives you like the history lesson of the movie, that could be incredibly boring, but she is just, you could just tell how enthusiastic she is and how she speaks. And I don't know if she does it off a script or something, but you know, she just does it in such a way where it's just really fun and entertaining to listen to. And I just think that that's a podcast that is definitely well worth checking out.
Cool.
If you're a movie fan, for sure.
Cool. My last one.
Yes.
Wait, you already did 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my last and final one.
Yes.
The Stu Nods podcast.
Hey!
Dom and Joey, those fucking clowns. Go check them out. They're a lot of fun. Laughs are guaranteed.
Yep.
They talk movies, television, sports, a whole bunch of stuff. It's not really fixed on one certain topic.
Right. And they also have a lot of guests.
They do have a lot of guests. They'd like to bring a lot of outside voices, a lot of different opinions, which makes it interesting, which makes it fun to listen to. But definitely go check them out. They are a lot of fun. And if you're feeling generous, go check out Joey's older brother also has a podcast.
Yes.
But that's only if you're feeling generous. I highly do not recommend it. I tuned in to their podcast and they're a bunch of assholes. It sucks, so don't recommend it. But if you're feeling generous, definitely go check it out.
Well, what's Joey's brother's podcast name?
It's called the Effing Nerds Podcast. It's the dumbest name I ever fucking heard. But yeah, definitely go check out Dom and Joey. They're a blast. And then make up the consensus. Which brother is the better host?
Which brother has the better podcast?
Yeah. And then we'll fight it out to the death.
Make it fast.
Yeah, Joey's obviously my younger brother, and Dom is his like lifelong best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually made a few movies with Dom, including Kickstart My Heart, which everyone should go check out. Shameless self-promotion.
We're doing a lot today.
We did a lot today. But yeah, man, they're really great. They're really funny, and yeah, they're just an entertaining duo.
They are,
especially Dom. Dom is such a I don't know how my brother does it with him sometimes.
I don't know if it's because I know Dom or what, but whenever I prefer to not trying to like sort of steer anyone from how they do their show, but if you have a YouTube page, I prefer to watch like the video.
Yeah,
you know. And just like you said, Dom, I feel like the kids in his own little world have this.
Oh, he definitely is.
But it cracks you up, and it's always a fun show to listen to and to watch as well.
Yep. So those are our podcasting recommendations. Everybody should go check them out. They are all over the place on Spotify,
we'll
Apple
put
Podcasts. If you guys are watching this on the video, you've seen all the little graphics already.
Yeah, but we'll definitely get it on the gram just in case as well, because that also gets more views. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Martin, you ready to go into some of our news?
And to kind of harness back to what I said before, we took some time off, so we're kind of going over our kind of new format, so to speak, moving forward. We're going to record on Mondays, and we're going to recap the news of the previous week.
Yes.
So right now we are doing the news of...
I mean, it's probably like a couple of weeks.
We're doing the week of September 28th to
October 4th. But
Right.
like we said, we skipped an episode, so we're probably gonna harness back a little bit beforehand as well.
Yeah, definitely. So let's jump right into it.
Let's do this.
So first up, we're going to be talking some trailers, and we got a bunch of brand new ones that dropped. So the first trailer is WandaVision for Disney Plus. Then we have A24's Minari. Then we have Borat 2, Robert Zemeckis' Witches remake, and Monster Hunter, which is, I think, a video game adaptation.
Correct.
So WandaVision is set to premiere later this year on Disney Plus, which probably is going to be in December at this point, with Borat 2 and The Witches coming soon to streaming. Borat 2 will premiere on Amazon Prime on October 23rd, and The Witches will come to HBO Max on October 15th. Monster Hunter currently holds a December 2020 theatrical release date.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
With no official date for Minari as of right now. So Martin, out of all those trailers, which ones really stand out to you?
Well, like I said, we didn't do an episode last week, so we couldn't talk about the WandaVision trailer,
Yes.
but that's definitely the one that stands out to me the most.
100%.
That trailer was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. To me, personally, it was a hybrid of Pleasantville, Source Code, and Inception. For the people who don't know.
So
because
many flavors thrown together.
So many fucking flavors.
Welcome to Baskin Robbins. Would you like to try our mango fruit blast?
But for the people who don't know, because let's be real, not every single person's a movie fan. And that's fine. That's why we're here.
Yes.
To drop that effing knowledge.
Yes.
And Pleasantville is a movie from the late 90s with Reese Witherspoon and Toby Maguire. And it's about brother and sister, played by Witherspoon and Maguire, where they go into like a 1950s sitcom.
Yes,
so to
they get like
speak.
sucked into the TV.
Right. And Toby Maguire's character is like all about it. He loves it. But Reese Witherspoon's character, the sister, like is going around kind of fucking shit up, adding color a little here and there, and kind of bringing. You definitely get like a sort of out of time and out of place feel in the movie, given that like it's different time settings and just a sort of.
I think they call it like a fish out of water scenario.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a. You see, you know all the metaphors, bro. I don't know the metaphors. English is not my first language.
Metaphor.
But,
we know.
Yeah, but those moments in the trailer, in the WandaVision trailer, where like they're sort of kind of coming to color, amidst this sort of like black and white backdrop, reminded me a lot of Pleasantville because there's very similar scenes in the movie. Also, obviously, Source Code. It's about Jake Gyllenhaal from, I believe, it's 2011. I believe
2011, maybe a little bit later than that.
Okay,
Possibly, but yeah, definitely early 2010s.
Yes, let's go with putting it like early 2010s. And it's about Jake Gyllenhaal. He was in the military, and essentially his body gets harvested for like a sort of military experiment.
Yes.
And he was the victim of a train explosion. So they kind of harvested his brain, so to speak, and he's kind of reliving in like a sort of like a matrix, like a computer scenario, the last couple minutes of his life in order to identify the bomber.
Right.
Now, in the trailer, we get those shots of the military base, so to speak.
Right.
So I don't know if maybe one is being kept under her.
It's possible.
You know, and they're trying to like Inception, trying to extract information from her mind, because that dinner scene where the people are like asking her like, where are you from? Like, how did you get here?
Where did you two move from? How long have you been married? And why don't you have children yet? Our story.
I think what my wife means to say is that we moved from...
Moved from where? Married when? Damn it, why?
Oh, Arthur, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. So I don't know if, and maybe like her conscience is sort of maybe trying to fight it. That's why she can't really answer.
Right.
Either that or she's trying to like suppress memories.
Yes.
You know, because she's trying to like live a happy life with Vision. Vision obviously does not know that he's dead.
Right.
So maybe she doesn't want to
That's
say.
what I mean. Like, is he actually there, or is he just like a manifestation?
I don't think he's there.
Of her
I think
conscience?
it's a manifestation of her conscience. Whether it's like I said, whether it's an alternate reality where she's trying to live like a sort of happy life with him, or whether it's something where she's being captured and people are trying to like get information. So you know, so they bring in Vision.
There are those scenes where he's kind of isolated and she's not there. Like there's a few, like there's that one. That's probably my favorite moment in the trailer is when he's at the car. I forget the actress's name.
Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn, yeah, who I love Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, she's incredible.
I'm so happy that she's in this. And she basically is like, you don't realize that you're dead or something like that. She says something along those
and he's
lines.
like shook, and she's like also like turned off.
Yeah, she's like kind of like she's got like a dead-eyed, like looking forward and something.
Am I dead?
No. Why would you think that?
Because you are.
And not just that, but there are moments in the trailer where everyone's kind of frozen.
Yes.
So I don't know if maybe she kind of like you know like an Avatar.
Yeah.
When you wake up and everything kind of
right.
You know. So I don't know if it's like that sort of situation. who knows? But there was a lot to take away from this trailer, a lot of questions. It's obviously going to be very trippy, very strange, very weird, but I'm all about it. And there was one more thing that I wanted to say. The cast is great, like you said, Catherine Hahn. Obviously, I believe Kat Dennings coming back as Darcy. And an interesting person who's coming back is Evan Peters.
Yes.
They haven't said if it's going to be...
Of who he's going to be.
Yeah, but I'm assuming... We'll get into this a little later on, but we have an idea that,
what's
a lot of streams
here.
are being crossed.
Yes.
So I can... if we get him back as Quicksilver, I would be off. I would literally be through the roof. But I'm definitely excited for this. I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. And for me personally, like I'm definitely looking forward to some of the movies that are coming from the MCU, but after Endgame, my hype for just the overall MCU kind of has died a little bit.
Bro, for me personally, it plummeted.
That's what I mean, because like it's just there were a lot of different projects that were announced that I just weren't really jazzed up about. Like I am excited for a lot of stuff that they're pushing, but just wondering like, Endgame felt like the culmination of just everything that started. So it's like, where are they going to go from here? But with WandaVision is like, as soon as I saw that trailer, I was so fucking hyped for it. And I think this is going to be our first, I guess we're dipping our toes in the whole multiverse aspect of it. And the fact that that Wanda's going to be in Doctor Strange
Multiverse of Madness.
And the Multiverse of Madness. I feel like this is going to kind of lead into that as to what is going on with the MCU going forward.
Correct, because we already got little sprinkles in Far From Home, which is post Endgame, where they kind of name dropped. Now, that may have been true or not, because Mysterio, again, like he said he was, but he really wasn't.
Right.
But the fact that they name dropped it, kind of like they're just planting the seeds.
Yeah. Oh, the seeds are being planted.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for this, and I can't wait.
Definitely. So the one that I want to talk about, and I really don't want to go in depth on it, but it's Robert Zemeckis' The Witches remake. Yeah. And I remember hearing about that they were remaking it. Obviously, it's a movie from, I believe it's the 1980s with Angelica Houston.
Yes.
Who's in like the lead role, and she's phenomenal in that movie. And I saw this trailer, and I was just like, this looks like dog shit.
Yeah,
like,
it does not look great.
It didn't look good. The CG looked bad. I mean, Anne Hathaway looked like she was doing a pretty good job, but it just felt like they went really family friendly with this version. And The Witches that I grew up with was like it basically kind of was somewhat of a kids movie, but kids movies back in the day were dark as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it just didn't have that same feel to it. And it just felt very like,
also like the practicality. The practicality from the original Witches movie was like a big part of the magic.
Yes.
But it seems like here they're going to go very CG with the design. And I feel like that just kind of takes away from it. And with you, Anne Hathaway to me is an actor who's just like, she's fine. Like she's almost like a safe choice.
It's also weird that she's like, I don't like the projects that she's been picking lately.
No, but that's the thing. I feel like she's a safe choice. Like you're gonna put her in a movie, she's gonna do fine.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like it's just gonna be fine.
Right.
It's not gonna like. I don't think really anything that like I understand she got her Oscar for Les Mis, but I mean I didn't really care much for the movie. I thought the movie itself was just fine.
I mean, I liked her in both of the Nolan projects that she worked on.
Right, but she's never really like a stand. Like for me, like I thought she was a fine Catwoman in Selena Kyle. I think there's so many more people who could have brought more to the role.
Right.
But I think she came in and she did a fine job. Like she's never really like, she's a very interesting actor because again, like I said, it's just she's like just there where she could kind of play like the babe of the movie, and she's also just there where she can be like the nerdy girl,
right? And
she's got enough like edge to her where she can just be the badass, like she's pretty versatile, but she never kind of like really sticks out in my personal opinion. But I do like her. I do like her because she's, like I said, she always comes in, she does a fine job, gets paid, and goes home. But again, it was the same thing with this. I saw her in this and I was like fine, and it's whatever, and I don't really care for this movie. Like I echo all your sentiments pretty much.
So we're gonna move on and kind of discuss movies that have already gotten trailers, but this is kind of our second look at it. And we just got a new look at Ryan Reynolds' Free Guy, which is also set to hit theaters later in December of 2020.
Bullshit.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I like this trailer a lot more than the first one that we got. And I'm always rooting for Ryan Reynolds, but I'm still a little iffy on the project. And this definitely feels like they're taking the idea from like the Lego movie,
right,
and making it. They're putting it in a video game, but I still feel like the Lego movie did it better. I mean, obviously I haven't seen Free Guy yet, obviously, but Like I don't know if they're gonna quite capture what the Lego Movie did with this sort of same kind of
or even
premise.
like Ready Player One.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that part when he's gathering all the avatars to
yes,
was very Ready Player One vibes. I'm with you. I thought this trailer was a lot better than the first one. But again, Ryan Reynolds, to me, I love Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. I do. But to me, he's just the same in every movie.
I know.
It's like
this movie also, I feel like it needs an edge to it, and I feel like it doesn't. I feel like it's a PG-13. I feel like it's gonna be a PG-13 movie. Like a lot of the jokes for me weren't landing.
No, and again, it felt like a watered down version of Deadpool.
Exactly.
Same thing with like Pikachu. When I'm watching Pikachu, all I heard was Deadpool.
I actually like Detective Pikachu.
I like Detective Pikachu too, but again, it's not like, for example, like Bradley Cooper, what we mentioned. Like when Bradley Cooper comes on and voices
and does Rocket,
you do not hear Bradley Cooper.
I hear Rocket.
Yeah, you hear Rocket. Like
I would agree with that.
That is the most real, authentic, hysterical laugh of my entire life, because that is not a plan.
He brings like a certain life and energy to his character, and he differentiates very well. But Pikachu, it was just Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, which essentially is what Deadpool is. It's Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds,
basically.
And yeah, the first trailer, I got a lot of that. I'm like, this is just Deadpool, the same shit. With this one, again, a little bit of like the same shit, but it did add a little bit more sort of.
You got more of the sense of the world and what's been going on.
Yeah, a little bit more magic, so to speak. But yeah, this is not a project that I'm thrilled about.
No.
It's like if it comes on VOD, I'll watch it, but I don't know. Like I'm not looking forward to it.
I honestly think that's what it's destined for too. I think it's going to jump on VOD. It's I mean, at this point,
even like the jokes from the first trailer, when like from the studio that brought you Beauty and the Beast, whatever, twice. It's such a Deadpool. It's like he keeps that constant humor going. But I like the dude. Like you said, I'm rooting for him too. But I just want more buried roles.
I agree.
Like that's what I want, because I know the dude can act, and I know that he does have that. He does have the touch. He does have the power. And I hope we get more of that and kind of differentiate yourself, so to speak.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Not that I want to keep this going, but I think with the success of Deadpool, he's now cashing in as much as he possibly can.
Yeah, dude.
And then I feel like when that kind of stops, maybe that's when he'll go back to roles like Buried.
But it's a thing where when these other actors like Oscar Isaac or like Jake Gyllenhaal or whatever, like they do their big movie, get that paycheck, and then they can focus on smaller films.
Right.
Like maybe like do something like that, or like Ryan Gosling, he always does that. He does this big movie.
That's very true. But I also feel like Ryan Reynolds is also somewhat of an entrepreneur with like Aviation Gin and a couple other companies that he has his hand in.
Well, he sold Aviation Gin.
Oh, he did. Right. He did sell Aviation Gin.
He's got Mint Mobile now.
He does. Oh, that's what I mean. So he's kind of just jumping around to different things, and I just feel like that maybe he's just trying to do it all. You know what I mean? And just make as much as he can. Yeah,
I guess. I mean, do you, bro?
Yeah.
I just know that you can do so much more, but it's like the Zac Efron situation. But just go ahead.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So harnessing back, since we discussed a couple movies that are going to streaming, we have a couple new announcements here. So the Russo brothers' new film Cherry, starring Tom Holland, will premiere on Apple TV sometime in early 2021, trying to get like that nice Oscar spot. And as well as Regina King's One Night in Miami, which premiered at TIFF this year to fantastic reviews. So that's one that we're really excited to see. And then we have the 2019 standout The Sound of Metal, which was also at TIFF that we saw in 2019.
That's right.
And that's also coming to Amazon Prime. So One Night in Miami will get a limited theatrical release on Christmas before dropping on Prime Video on January 15th, 2021. And The Sound of Metal will also get a limited theatrical release date on November 20th, 2020, before dropping on Prime Video on December 4th, 2020.
That's my mom's birthday, November 20th. Yeah, the standout for me here is obviously Sound of Metal.
Right.
Like you said,
we saw it.
We saw it at TIFF, and it was a great film.
Yes.
I will be honest with you though, even though I enjoyed it, I don't know how excited I am to go to revisit it.
Because it's a heavy movie. And
it's also very slow.
It's also a slow burn, but I do want to rewatch it just because I remember how much I enjoyed Riz Ahmed's performance, and I also enjoyed the fact that they really dive into the feeling of being deaf.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, I know I hate using this word, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's very gritty.
Yes,
it's extremely gritty. It's very realistic, and yeah, I'm with you.
Well, because I remember the, they had like the panel afterward, and they had a lot of the cast and crew come out, and that was what they talked about, was how this shines a light on the deaf community, which doesn't normally get a whole lot of spotlight in these kind of situations. So that's kind of the one thing that I'm excited to go back and revisit a bit. And also, like I said, Riz Ahmed just crushed that performance.
Agreed.
And I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah, same. And then the other movies, like, cool. I love Regina King.
I know, yeah. I can't wait to see that because, you know, it's her directorial debut, and I fucking love Regina King.
Of course, of course.
And then Cherry is supposed to be, keep hearing about how it's like, it's Tom Holland's role. He's going to get the Oscar for it.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, so we're going to move on to some new casting news. So we've got Aldis Hodge, who has been cast as Hawkman alongside Dwayne Johnson and Noah Centineo in DC's Black Adam. And we have newcomer Iman Vellani. Yeah, so newcomer Iman Vellani, who has been cast as Kamala Khan in the upcoming Ms. Marvel show for Disney+. So I want to talk about both these. So Aldis Hodge, obviously, like, I'm excited that he got cast in this role. But for Hawkman, I wanted to ask you, is Hawkman Egyptian? In the comics? Because I don't really know much about Hawkman. He is. Okay.
Well, Carter Hall is a reincarnation of Prince.
Well, that's kind of what I was asking. So obviously Black Adam takes place like 5,000 years before,
right,
I guess,
Kandak.
Before like in like the present that we're going to get in the movie. So I wonder if we're going to have another actor play Hawkman at that time, and then Aldis Hodge is going to play the reincarnated version.
Right, because Hawkman's an alien. I believe there's like two sort of like set in stone origin stories for him, but like the most noticeable one is that he's like a sort of like Imperial Prince on Thanagar,
right? Which
is like an alien planet where all like the Hawk humanoids, so to speak, live there. But yeah, I mean, Aldis Hodge, I mean, physically he looks like a superhero.
Yes,
the dude's got a.
He's built, bro.
He's built.
Yeah.
He's built. Yeah, and he's pretty tall. So I'm very picky when it comes to my sort of superhero representation, only because we've been spoiled in recent years. You know, so I know it's a little unfair, but to see this tall dude got the muscles, like, yeah, I definitely buy that he's Hawkman, and I love Hawkman. I'm really excited that they're bringing him on, and like I've mentioned before, he's just a character that you can do a lot with because obviously, given his background with Thanagar, you can open up this sort of cosmic element, which I feel like they're eventually going to do.
Probably, yeah.
And you can even have Thanagar almost be like the Wakanda of
the DC
of
universe.
the DCEU, because it's a very I guess resourceful planet, so to speak. But they don't to them poverty doesn't exist, sort of like all these sort of like issues that like these normal world issues that everyone has, like, doesn't really apply to them. Like, it's just like it's a super advanced and it's a really sort of interesting route that they can take by introducing that planet, and it opens it up to so much more.
Right, absolutely.
Things.
And Aldis Hodge is crushing it right now. He was in this year's Invisible Man, which he was pretty good in, and then he's also in Regina King's One Night in Miami.
Right, and isn't he in No, he's not in Chicago 7. That's Abdul. That's our boy Yaya.
Yeah.
That's Yaya. Right.
But you know what's funny? I was looking up Aldis Hodge's filmography, and he was in Die Hard with a Vengeance. He was one of Samuel L. Jackson's kids.
Wasn't that his first role?
I think that was his first role.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, he's in Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah, and it's funny because Aldis Hodge and the guy from The Mummy Returns, the black dude from The Mummy Returns.
Yes, I believe he was also Mr. Echo from Lost.
Yeah, and I believe he was also in Thor: Lost World.
Yes.
I believe, yeah. Like,
or The Dark World?
The Dark World, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, those dudes I always like mix up for some reason. I know. I always realize that.
Well, they kind of do look alike a little bit.
But Aldis Hodge is like 20 years younger.
That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, that's exciting news.
Right. So now we're going to jump over to Ms. Marvel. So you got Iman Vellani, who's a brand new
newcomer.
We
got a first timer out here.
Never acted before, and she's playing Kamala Khan, which I think is pretty cool because Kamala Khan, you know, I don't know a whole lot about Kamala Khan, but what I do know is that she's a fan that becomes a superhero.
Right. It's a little meta where it's almost like so I mean, I guess to give you a little bit of backstory, because I've like I told you, I've recently jumped on the Kamala Khan bandwagon.
Yes.
I've kind of started reading her issues recently, and I've enjoyed all of them. They are a blast. But she's a Pakistani teenager in Jersey City.
Yep.
We may or may not live here. Who knows? But obviously, from sort of some knowledge, maybe personal or not, Jersey City has a big sort of Indian and Pakistani, I guess, demographic.
Yeah, population.
Population,
yeah.
Yes. And Filipinos. Filipinos. I love Filipinos. But yeah, so she has the Inhuman cells in her, and they're very dormant. So after, okay, hold on, let me think. Okay, after Infinity, which was the Jonathan Hickman 6-issue run from like 2013, after that, there's like this sort of like thing that's released into the universe, and a lot of the people who are descendants of Inhumans and have like the dormant cells in them
kind of awakens, right?
Exactly, wakes them up, and she's one of those people. By the way, if you have not read the Infinity run by Jonathan Hickman. Definitely check it out. And a lot of MCU like stuff takes a lot of like MCU takes a lot of stuff from that run,
right?
From the Jonathan Hickman run, in regards to like Thanos and things like that. But yeah, it kind of wakens up the dormant cells, and she becomes a sort of like shape-shifting superhero. And obviously, since she loves Captain Marvel so much, she bases a lot of her stuff off of Captain Marvel, even to the point where she sometimes shapeshifts into Captain Marvel and tries to and pretends to be Captain Marvel to stop crime, so to speak.
Well, it's actually pretty funny because we did find out that she wrote a review for Captain Marvel on Letterboxd.
Incredible. She's like, not a fan of the movie, but I will die for Brie Larson. Yeah, which is amazing.
That's pretty cool. And, the hope is that when they start filming this, that they will actually film in Jersey City. So maybe we can get a cameo in there.
I mean, if we do live here, we don't know. But maybe we'll like, from wherever we are, we'll go take a ride over.
Yeah, we'll take a ride over and see if we can get a little cameo in there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
That would be pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. And just one last thing. Again, representation.
Yeah.
Kumail. What's Kumail? I always forget how to say his name. Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh yeah.
He tweeted out
Kumail Nanjiani.
Kumail, yeah. I'm sorry, I apologize. But Kumail Nanjiani, he tweeted out how he got a little emotional when he saw the casting news, and I get it. I definitely get it. If it was a situation like with like Hispanics or whatever, I definitely react like that sometimes too. So good for her. They're saying she's 18 years old.
Yeah.
So she's in for the long run.
Oh, she's in for the long run. It's a Tom Holland situation.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they got that 10-year contract already signed up. But good for her. I mean, this is incredible. And good for her. And I'm excited to see this character on like live action.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to move on to some new movie announcements. So we got Chris Hemsworth, Miles Teller, and Jurnee Smollett are teaming up with Netflix for a new sci-fi movie titled Spiderhead with Joseph Kosinski directing. Mm-hmm. We also got Zendaya, who is set to play Ronnie Spector in A24's Be My Baby biopic. And we have Clint Eastwood, who is set to direct, produce, and star in Cry Macho, an upcoming action-adventure movie for Warner Brothers. And then we have Barry Jenkins, who is set to direct the sequel to the live-action Lion King. Mm-hmm. So out of all that stuff, what sticks out to you?
Probably the Barry Jenkins news.
Probably too, man. That's really interesting.
Yeah, first of all, why? Makes no sense. But look, if Barry Jenkins is doing it, that means that he's somewhat passionate about it.
Yeah.
And that he has a story to tell. So I love Barry Jenkins. Yeah. He's become one of my favorite directors in recent years. So I trust him, and if he is doing this, well, I mean, obviously he's doing it. Yeah. But this excites me for it. There's very few names who would probably get me excited for a Lion King 2 live action sequel. Yeah. But the fact that he's doing it, cool. I'm all in.
Well, it's funny because I saw a lot of people giving him shit almost for doing it. Mm-hmm. Because he's really good in on the indie kind of circuit, and
he's an Academy Award winning.
But also some people calling him a sellout for doing this, and I'm like, you know what? This could be a situation where, sure, maybe he is doing it for the paycheck, but it could be one of those things where it's like, hey, you do one for me, we'll do one for you. Kind of deal, you know what I mean? And directors do it all the time. Yeah. Sometimes they'll take the paycheck and do the big movie so they can fund their other passion projects.
That's literally what I was just saying before.
Because you have to eat. You have to eat, exactly. So I don't begrudge him for doing this, and maybe he'll actually make it interesting because I did not like the live action remake of Lion King. I thought it was terrible.
I did not think it was terrible.
I know
but
you
that's
didn't
cool.
think it was terrible,
that's
but
cool.
I thought it was terrible.
Yeah, I know.
In my subjective opinion.
Yeah, film subjective. We talk about it all the time. Nick didn't like it. I personally really did. And the fact that we're getting someone like Barry Jenkins to do another one, right? Cool, right? I'm all about it.
You know what's funny though? I did see somebody took the Lion King trailer and they put the sound from Moonlight's trailer under it, so it's you see Lion King, but it's when they're speaking, you hear the dialogue from Moonlight, and it's fucking hysterical.
Dude, Moonlight is a movie that I want to watch again. I've only seen it once. Yeah, I saw it when it first came out. I was not crazy about it. I thought it was very overhyped. But just spending the last 3 years just thinking about it and hearing people just praise it.
Well, I think you like Beale Street more.
I love Beale Street. I thought Beale Street was really great. Yeah, so it's definitely a movie that I want to eventually get back and check out.
Yeah, no, and I still need to see Beale Street. So I still haven't yet, and I don't know why I haven't.
I mean, do you have it? Do we have it?
I think it's on Hulu.
Okay, well, we still have to get it physical, bro.
I know, we got to add physical. We got to add to the collection. Got to add the collection. All right, so we're going to round out some of this other news. James Cameron's Avatar 2 has finished filming, and Avatar 3 is 95% complete. We also got some film stills from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which were released, giving us our first look at Chadwick Boseman's final role. And then we got more delays coming out, which is just, I really hate talking about. But No Time to Die has been pushed from November of this year to April 2021. Fast and Furious 9 got pushed back another month to May of 2021.
And then the big one,
which Dune got delayed from December 18th all the way to October 1st.
Which is fucking crazy.
So before we dive into this, what I will say is that I am excited for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I did like the pictures that I saw, and I can't wait for a trailer. Obviously, it's Boseman's final role, and from what I've been hearing, he's pretty damn good in it, and he might get an Oscar nomination for it.
Cool. And I like all those sentiments.
And now onto these delays. I swear to fucking God, dude, if this delay of Dune has pushed the Batman back to 2022, we're going to Warner Brothers. We're storming the castle.
The king is unprotected. I shall approach him from the rear.
Oh, I don't think so.
Where do you think it's gonna?
I think it's gonna go, like if Warner Bros doesn't have any real estate.
Don't say I don't think so, dude, because they will do it.
No, I'm saying if there's nothing coming out from Warner Bros in the end of October, then I can imagine the movie being pushed back like 2
Yeah, but I don't know
weeks.
if you're gonna have Dune, which they want to be $1 billion franchise, come out a few weeks before the Batman, which is going to suck up the rest of the business. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Batman's getting delayed a lot. I think it's gonna get delayed.
I didn't see it that way. I thought maybe like a month most.
You can't have two blockbusters of the same studio come out in the same exact month.
Marvel and Disney do it all the time.
Do they though?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
when?
think like in like a 3-month span.
That's a 3-month span though. That's not the
That's
same
like 3
month.
movies. Like you're
not
about,
releasing. You're not releasing Guardians of the Galaxy and then 3 weeks later Spider-Man's coming out.
Dude, you had Captain Marvel come out and then literally like
in February.
Was it February? No, it was March.
Well, March.
Yeah, and then in April, like literally like 6 weeks later, you had Endgame come out.
That was the end of April, though.
But same thing with Black Panther. You have Black Panther come out in February,
right?
And then you had literally like maybe like 6 weeks later.
2 months later is when Infinity War came out.
So maybe Batman can be pushed to Christmas.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's best case scenario, I think.
Right.
Worst case scenario is it gets pushed to summer of 2022.
Unless we get news that Batman production has again halted somehow,
right.
I don't really picture it being pushed back crazy. I really don't. And if it does,
I'm fucking heat it, dude.
And if it does, then that's just unfortunate. That's just really,
dude. Fuck
bro.
this.
Like Peter Parker said in Spider-Man 2.
There are bigger things happening here than me and you.
There's bigger things happening here than me and you,
dude.
I know it sucks.
If we haven't stated it before, you will know now. Fuck 2020. Fuck it in its stupid ass.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
It's a cruel bitch, and I hate it, dude. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of it.
I mean, look, I'm going to. Okay, this is actually very interesting because you're the optimist in this group,
and now I'm upset.
And I'm never I'm not really. I'm just like I don't. You're the optimist, and you're the How do I say it? Like I guess the forgiving one.
Yeah.
Like if someone does a bad job in a movie, you'll forgive them and you look forward to their movie because you like the movie that they did like 15 years ago.
Right.
That's you. Me, I'm like, okay, I'm like Hollywood. What have you done for me lately? No, I don't give a shit about it anymore. Like I don't care about Chris Terrio. I don't care about Tom Hardy. Like I'm done.
Right.
You know. But yeah, I'll be the optimist now, and I don't think it's going to be a crazy push. I think maybe Christmas or sometime in November, maybe. I do like the October slot because obviously like you were mentioning it, Joker. Mm-hmm. There was like it made a lot of money and it was a good spot for that movie. And we kind of know now that it's not really going to have a big long Halloween influence, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But I kind of like that Halloween date.
I did too. I thought it was perfect.
I just felt like it was in line. But maybe November 1st, maybe like a month afterwards. I don't know.
When it gets delayed to 2022 and I come on here the next episode, I'm going to lose my shit.
Well, if it does, then but that's like me. I've made amends with what's going on. Like I know it sucks, but it is what it is. Like there's nothing we can do about it.
I know.
And that's just the unfortunate.
But it's
situation.
my frustration that I can't do anything about it. That's why I'm so heated.
Yeah, but I guess I'm more strong-willed. Maybe I don't know. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it sucks.
We'll just saying a week, bro? Is that what you're saying?
A little. Yeah, a little.
Jesus Christ.
Just kidding. Not really.
Well, the unfortunate news about the No Time to Die release date has caused Regal Cinemas to basically say, all right, we're done with 2020 as well, so we're going to shut down.
Mm-hmm. So that to me is the biggest takeaway.
That's the big news, and I don't know what is going to happen going forward now because with that shutdown, they've basically put, I think I read 40,000 jobs at risk now, and this is bad. This is really bad, and when it comes to the what we always talk about, the theatrical experience. I don't know how I really honestly don't know how these companies are going to survive without having anything.
I can't remember who it was that said how essentially movie theaters now are moving forward are only going to be for blockbuster films. Affleck said that?
Yep.
Okay, my guy, of course.
Ben Affleck.
And I agree with him. I feel like that's eventually what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's just too much damage at this point, and it's going to be, it's going to come down to that where literally just these big blockbuster main event films are the ones that are going to go to theaters, and everything else is going to drop to streaming.
I think it's only a matter of time before studios start buying these theaters now because they're really hurting, and because I think in August that treaty expired that basically prevented studios from buying theaters. Now I think they're going to.
They're just they're behind that tree, just
going like this, man.
Waiting to just drop that paycheck. And you know that another thing, which is kind of unfortunate, is that these studios are desperate.
Yep.
So they come to them knowing these fucking studios are probably going to come to them with like a low ball number, and they're just going to take it. They're just going to bite.
Yeah.
Just going to throw that line out there and just going. It's unfortunate, bro. I take back what I said. I feel bad that Nick is not weak. The kid is very passionate, and I understand. I really do. But to me, I've kind of made amends, so to speak. Like it is what it is. That's how I see it, pretty much. We'll get it when we get it.
We get there when we get there.
Fuck this. I'm done. All right, moving on past that. I will get over it at some point. Not anytime soon, but at some point. We're going to talk about a really fun project that kind of came out of nowhere. And when I saw the release for it, I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this is happening. So Barry Levinson, director of such films as Rain Man, Good Morning Vietnam, and a bunch of other classics, is set to direct Francis and the Godfather, an upcoming drama about the legendary and wild battles that went into making the 1972 classic The Godfather. Oscar Isaacs is set to star as director Francis Coppola, and Jake Gyllenhaal will play Robert Evans, the film's producer. The film is based on a Blacklist script by Andrew Ferroti, sorry, I had to make sure I didn't butcher that name, which was later revised by Levinson himself. Echo Lake and Baltimore Pictures are producing, with Endeavor Content and Film Nation handling worldwide rights.
Boom.
I'm really excited for this.
Me too.
And I think Oscar Isaacs as Francis Ford Coppola is just
just the
casting.
Voice.
Yeah.
I can already hear him pull off that voice like no problem.
And they showed the side by side, and he looks just like once they do a little bit of makeup on him, he's gonna look just like Francis Coppola.
I agree, man. I'm in that minority that thinks The Godfather is far superior than the second one.
What the fuck is your problem?
I like the second one a lot. I really do, but I think that the first one is just like I think it's so much better.
Yeah.
And there is a lot. I mean, we get these sort of movies about the making of movies.
We're getting a lot. We got Mank coming up.
Yeah, exactly. We got Mank
and then
coming
there's
up.
just so many other classics that have come out in the past.
Right. One that, I don't want to go back and name a whole bunch, but we recently, a few weeks ago, did the Ed Wood shot of the day.
Yes.
And when we were posting it, I'm just I was thinking, God damn, I fucking love this movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back and rewatch that. But there's so many great ones, like Argo. We were talking about Batfleck.
Disaster Artist, which just came out.
Disaster Artist.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of great ones, and whether they're true or not, that's kind of up to whoever. That's up to the audience. But we imagine that a project handling this iconic film, so to speak, is going to be taken very seriously. So very much like Mank, I can imagine that a lot of the sort of information and I guess sort of points that are driving the film are very based off of nonfiction.
Yes.
That are true, so to speak. And yeah, this cast is incredible. Said it a bunch of times. Like we were just saying, actually, Oscar Isaac and Jake Gyllenhaal are both that type of actor who they do a lot of these sort of smaller story-driven films, and then they come in and do Far From Home, or fucking Star Wars. They come in and they cash your checks.
Yes.
And
these guys can really just escape
flip the switch
into roles where you don't see the
100%
actor. You see whoever character they're playing.
100% agree. They're one of the few.
Yes.
They're definitely in a good company in regards to those types of actors who can just really flip the switch. You don't see Poe Dameron, you don't see Mysterio, you don't see some of these iconic roles that they play. You don't see that. You just see whatever character they're portraying.
Yep.
And this is great. I'm really excited for this film.
So I think it was 2 years ago, and it was during I forget which film festival it was. It was in the spring though, and it was in New York. I don't know if it was
maybe Tribeca Film Festival.
Maybe probably the Tribeca Film Festival.
Yeah, that's spring.
That's spring, right?
Yeah, okay, so fall is New York.
Right. So it was Tribeca, and I went with my dad to go see both showings of The Godfather 1 and Godfather 2 back to back.
Ooh, that's a long day.
And it was at Radio City. It was a long day.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, they had the entire cast. Well, it was basically the cast and Francis Coppola come out and did like a Q&A.
That's awesome.
It was the coolest fucking thing. And Coppola talked about the battles that he went through to get The Godfather made. Coppola has not had it easy making some of these classics that he's done between this and Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now is such a shit show of a behind the scenes story, but it ended up becoming like a masterpiece of a war film. And this, while not as crazy as Apocalypse Now, was still like he fought with the studio on who he wanted, casting wise.
Yeah, because they didn't want Pacino.
They wanted Robert Redford to play Pacino's role, which is I don't see that at all. Like they want like big names in there, so I think this is gonna be really interesting. And even more, I'm more curious to see who's gonna get cast as Brando, who's gonna get cast as Pacino. Like who are all these actors that are gonna come in and play these
because
people?
I want to see that, like we were just saying, I want to see that fight of how the studio was like, no, we don't want Pacino, and how he just kept fighting for him.
Kept hammering, yep.
And yeah, there's just so much about this project that is really exciting, and I can't wait to get, like you said, I can't wait to get more casting news, more information, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, same. All right, Martin, let's move on to some superhero shit.
Superhero shit, as it says in the notes. Onto some superhero shit.
So, scheduled reshoots for the highly anticipated Zack Snyder's Justice League project have been announced. The reshoots will take place this month, with notable names such as Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot returning. Also returning is Ray Fisher, who is scheduled for a week of reshoots amid his current claims that he's having with Warner Brothers, which is ongoing and it's insane. Henry Cavill confirmed that he is not filming any new scenes, so... which was weird because in the press release he was listed as coming back, and then he later said that no, I'm not coming back.
Right. This is very similar to the WandaVision trailer. This is a little bit of older news that we kind of want to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. And then also there's no news on whether Jason Momoa or Ezra Miller are returning as well for any additional photography. The reshoots have a reported budget of $70 million and is set to premiere on HBO Max sometime next year.
I was with Bob and we were doing a deep research on the budget.
Yes.
Take the budget with a grain of salt because no sort of major outlet from what we could find was sort of confirmed that budget.
The $70 million, yeah.
Right, but I imagine it's going to be north of 50.
Yeah, well, and also too, there was I believe it was the CEO of HBO Max did like an interview and he commented.
Yeah, this was like in the very beginning.
This was way back when the reshoots first got announced, and they said it was 20 to 30 million, and he was like, yeah, 23 million. He goes, yeah, I wish it was 20 or 30 million.
He did the Goodfellas laugh.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, we definitely expect to be very expensive. In our Zack Snyder discussion, another plug.
Yeah,
we pretty much said that like we both agreed that, I mean, at least personally for me, I almost 100% knew that reshoots were going to happen. Like I just feel like Zack now has this sort of, I guess, power of hindsight.
Yep.
Power of this sort of liberty and freedom that HBO Max has given him, and I imagine he wanted to maybe tell a little bit more story, maybe rework some scenes. And like I said, the power of hindsight is like incredibly important because he's had all this sort of time to reflect on like, oh shit, not just reflect on himself personally as how to make the story better, but maybe hear outside voices and hear other opinions of like what maybe some people want to see or what other people thought would have been cool that he thought to himself, you know what, maybe that would have been cool too. And then like now he's getting the resources to actually do it. So so this is exciting, and again, we cannot stress this enough. It is going to be completely different.
Yep.
It is not going to be what we would have gotten back in 2017. And just despite the fact that, you know, Warner Bros. Is, I don't know, maybe some shit's going on. Kudos to them for letting Zack Snyder do his story and for allowing him to see his vision through.
Well, I think it's even more of a thank you to AT&T, who bought Warner Brothers, and they're apparently the ones that are fans of Snyder, and they're the ones that have pushed this Snyder Cut forward, and they'll be like, no, we're doing this, because they are kind of overriding WB at this point. It's because they're the bosses now in charge.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Well, they're also the ones who fucking cancel comics, so give and take, baby.
It's true.
Give and take. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this is really exciting. And yeah, Zack Snyder, when this first got announced, confirmed that he wasn't going to do any reshoots. So that's kind of why people were like, it's not going to happen. He's just doing it for effects and finishing up some stuff. But I think like you said, we always kind of had this in the back of our head that, he's probably going to get the money to do some of the stuff. And I think a lot of these reshoots if I had to guess, I don't think he's adding anything like major in terms of like reshooting action sequences or anything like that. I think what he's doing is I think he's trying to finish off some connective tissue.
That's exactly what it is.
Because like, you know, these are now going to be 4 1-hour episodes. And I think he might need to maybe do some stuff to help bridge it a little bit, maybe to end some stuff on cliffhangers before going into the next one. And then I also think that he's reshaping his ending. And when I say ending, I mean like the very, very end, because
just in case,
not even just in case, because I think his original ending ended in a cliffhanger. And I think he's trying to rework it to where it doesn't end in such of a cliffhanger.
Oh, I thought well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To kind of give it a more definite ending.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Just in case, it could possibly move forward, or it could possibly spawn other stuff.
Right.
You don't want to you don't really want that cliffhanger. You want okay, here's a good ending.
Right.
But it's still somewhat open in case you want to bring me back.
Exactly.
Like, hey, let's do some business here. You know.
Okay, we're brothers, right?
That's right. You're brothers.
We're brothers.
You're brothers.
Right?
Everybody's a brother. That's right. You're a brother. You're his brother.
Get the fuck out of
here. But yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and with like I'm like when I saw this, I was shocked that he was getting like some of these actors to come back and be a part of it. Like
I was not
like not shocked, but just like I just didn't think it was gonna happen.
I saw it. I was like,
yeah, I called that.
I was like, I knew it.
I called that one.
Fucking knew it.
Kid's got inside sources.
I do have inside sources. You may have the one up on me with the burritos, but when it comes to these sort of bold predictions, I think I got like
we're gonna get into more of that too.
But yeah, like you were mentioning, Cal wasn't coming back. Okay, it's fine. Obviously, because Cal, if we kind of assume from, if it has like a similar outline from the film, that Cavill wasn't really like a big presence in the movie. It was more like the other
and I
characters.
think he doesn't really come in, I think, probably until like the second half of it. And even still, I would assume that most of his stuff has been it's shot. And maybe they don't have to add any more
exactly,
to it.
Exactly. You don't need it. But pretty much, Jason Momoa has been a little, he wasn't a DC fandom.
Yep.
Ice cream truck. He wasn't a DC fandom, and
you know, he's now in this battle with Ray Fisher.
Right, he recently spoke out, so he's not listed on here. Fine. I mean, I'm not going to really make any crazy assumptions.
Right.
I also just kind of technically believe that that a lot of the Momoa stuff was already shot as well.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about it, really the relationship between I know Zack Snyder has said it before, and I agree with him, is that Ray Cyborg to me was the heart of the film.
Yeah.
Like he's the one that stood out to me. So obviously he's a big sort of like driving force in the movie.
Yep.
So he wants to bring him back to kind of get, like you said, keep that sort of connective tissue and how things can move forward. And again, Bruce and Diana were pretty much like the recruits.
I was just thinking that. So like they have a relationship in the movie where it's kind of the two of them. So it makes sense that he's bringing them back.
Exactly, to do some more dialogue and again, to sort of keep that sort of a connective tissue in place. And yeah, just I feel like everything's going to be like little snippets here and there. I don't know if we'll get them. Like you said, I don't think it's gonna be like any like action sequence or anything like that.
No, I think it's just more like you said, like dialogue
just
scenes.
Just like fillers to kind of help sort of bring everything more whole.
Maybe flesh some things out.
Yeah, and we know Zack Snyder loves to share shit, so I'm looking forward to those BTS shots of Batfleck back, of Diana back, and yeah, this is cool. Good for him. I'm really happy for him.
Yeah,
I'm really, really happy for him, and I cannot wait for this fucking thing.
Dude, and at this point, this is like one of the few things that we can actually look forward to because everything else is getting fucking delayed, man.
But it's also on HBO Max, so you don't have to worry about some sort of like theatrical thing. You can just kick back and enjoy it. And I cannot wait, man. I'm so pumped.
I know. I really want a release date. I don't know when it's coming. I hope it's sooner rather than later. Like I want it to be like early 2021, not later 2021.
I would. I kind of stick with what I said before. I'm thinking like sometime in the summer, like either
maybe like late spring, early summer.
Yeah, I'm thinking like sometime in like May or so. Well, actually, now that we know of how pretty much it's going to be a 4-part series, but also a film. Now you can do that thing where like you release a part and you also give yourself like an extra maybe like 2 or 3 weeks to maybe finalize some stuff.
Yes.
So because they're shooting this month, they're shooting in October.
Right.
So whatever they're shooting, like we said, I can imagine it being like very CG heavy or involving a lot of post production.
Right.
So I'm gonna aim like right now to like sometime in like May. That's kind of like my hope, so to speak, or like where I think it'll come out.
Well, I'm with you, man. I hope it's May as well.
Yeah, I cannot wait, man. I'm so fucking pumped. I can't.
It's exciting. Well, speaking of really exciting, I guess, developments, and I have to give you a lot of props, dude, because you called some crazy shit that I thought was never going to happen. One of them being that Batfleck was going to come back.
And you still haven't jumped out the window.
I still haven't jumped. Well, it'll happen eventually.
Mm-hmm.
2, which is this next project, which is crazy, and we're going to really get into this. So here we go. Jamie Foxx, who played the classic Spider-Man villain Electro in 2014's Andrew Garfield-led film The Amazing Spider-Man 2, is in final talks to reprise the role of Max Dillon, aka Electro, for the latest Spider-Man installment starring Tom Holland. The film is being made by Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures and is set to hit theaters next year on December 17th, 2021, with production starting later this year. Okay.
Crazy.
So, crazy shit.
And we know Marvel shoots everything in studio and on green screen, so...
yeah, we don't have to worry about COVID.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Electro comes from the Andrew Garfield universe.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he's now coming forward in this. All right, so there's kind of a lot to talk about. And I guess what we're kind of alluding to is that now this is going to heavily play into the multiverse that Marvel is introducing. And so Martin, where do you want to start with this?
I want to start with, for starters, I want to applaud Marvel because originally they did have their plans for the Sinister Six movie.
Yes.
And they obviously kind of rushed it because they had to establish all these sort of villains, so to speak. They put Electro out there, they put Rhino, they put Green Goblin, because we had to get these characters out there so that people know. And now it kind of seems like they are sort of headed in that direction. So with a possible Sinister Six film, but now you have this luxury of look, we already established this character in another movie. Okay, bring him back. Fuck it.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
We're Marvel. We can do whatever we want. We can have fun with sort of multiverse idea. They're already, like you said, they're already planting the seeds. And the fact that now we don't have to worry about possibly introducing a new Electro.
Yeah.
We can just we're already familiar with him from another film. They can just do some writing, some tweaking, and bring him in. Good for you. Good for you for having, I guess, the balls, maybe, so to speak.
Yeah.
Going. Because even though everyone hated Spider-Man, a lot of people did not like that film.
It has its fans.
Chris being one of them.
Really?
I argue with Chris all the time.
Oh my God.
He always tells me, okay, Chris's classic statement is, it wasn't that bad. That's he says it just like that too.
Yeah.
He's always like, bro, Spider-Man 2 wasn't that bad. I'm like, bro, stop. It was fucking trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that they're bringing Jamie Foxx as Electro back, that's cool. That's just I love the fact that they're getting crazy.
Yeah.
It's probably because Amy Pascal's attached.
It could be.
She doesn't fucking care.
Come on, let's get nuts.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'll start off with. Kudos to you for doing that.
So I want to keep on Electro. So Jamie Foxx, I also kind of confirmed this, and also said that he's not going to be blue.
Oh, he said that? I did not see that part.
I think he confirmed that he's not going to be so blue coming back.
So maybe more yellow?
So I don't
more traditional?
I'm not sure. He might be a little bit more traditional. So
maybe a green and yellow?
The other thing is I'm happy that he's coming back because I would love for him to get another crack at it. But I don't want him to be the same type of character that he is in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I don't think he's going to be.
No.
Where he's basically Jim Carrey's Riddler and he says a lot of cheesy one-liners.
Yeah.
And it just did not work.
Even if it is that same character, even if it is Max Dillon from the Amazing Spider-Man,
which I'm fine with, but you can tweak. I don't care about continuity at this point.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Make him more grounded. Make him more realistic.
I think they're conscious enough to understand, okay, even though if we bring back the same character, because there's ways you can do it. You can have where it's just the Max Dillon of this Earth,
right?
And then but actually no, because then you would have to go ahead and establish him as how he became Electro and stuff like that.
Right.
So the only way is that it's really him that he came.
Yeah.
And if you remember at the end of Spider-Man 2, I remember there was a post-credit scene, but I don't think it involved him. I think
it was this random dude in a hat and raincoat, and he's walking in this room, and it has
the Doc Ock
thing. It had, I think, Vulture's wings. Right. Yeah, it was basically a setup for Sinister Six.
Right. And but he essentially, when we first last see him, he's essentially getting electrocuted, and he kind of blows up. So obviously we imagine that he went into maybe he went to some weird realms, he cracked something in the multiverse and slipped somewhere. Who fucking knows? That's where all the fun comes. How did it happen?
Yes.
I can imagine as a writer, you're probably having a blast. If you're a writer and you're a fan of this property, you're probably having a blast of doing all the research. How can we bring him back? How what maybe happened before in comics, or what can we do to kind of bring this character into this world?
Yes.
And yeah, I like you said, I think that even though we assume so it's going to be the same Max Dillon from that universe, and we imagine that Marvel is smart enough and conscious enough to be let's not repeat some of those mistakes, and let's kind of give them a sort of new take, so to speak.
Yeah. The other big thing that kind of set Twitter ablaze was is this now? Are we pushing towards a live action Spider-Verse? 100%. And I think we are.
It's happening.
I think we're
it is locked in.
And you can take that to the bank.
We're definitely getting Andrew Garfield back, and I think we're 100% getting Toby Maguire back. I don't think the Raimi directing Doctor Strange is a coincidence, especially since it deals with the multiverse.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a weird coincidence. I think it's been planned. I think they've been planning this for a while. And now it makes me think that the Spider-Man graffiti in the Morbius trailer is also not a coincidence either.
Well, that's when I first realized it.
That's when you first realized it.
When I saw, because it wasn't graffiti, it was like a poster.
It was I thought it was graffiti on a wall.
Oh, maybe. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But regardless, we saw Toby's Spider-Man there, and you see it, and it all makes sense.
Yes.
It's all fine because it's a Sony's film. You know, it's fine. And then you see fucking Vulture coming at the end, and you're just like,
what the fuck is happening?
What the fuck's happening? Yeah. And they just keep doubling down. Now Electro's coming back, and look, again, awesome.
Wow. That's what the press needs. They should call you the Amazing Spider-Man.
But like that's very interesting to see how because unless someone did their own design of fucking Spider-Man, you know, like it's gonna be I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how they're going to make everything work, how they're going to figure everything out, and I trust Marvel. I do. I trust them to not drop the ball on this, even though it's Sony's involvement. I think you have the right sort of partnership and people involved to kind of make this work, because I think we're both pretty much agree that the first two Spider-Man films were fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
For Homecoming and
Homecoming and Far From Home. I thought they were very. I thought Homecoming. I enjoyed Homecoming, but I didn't really think Far From Home brought anything new. I felt like it was just like another.
No, I mean
version.
like I think Homecoming to me is I think I really like Homecoming. I like Homecoming a lot. I think it's one of the better MCU movies, and also a Sony movie. But I like, the more I watch Far From Home, the more I do not like it. I think it has some good sequences, like especially the Mysterio sequence, which is awesome. But to me, I just think a lot of the stuff just does not. At least for me, it doesn't.
It's
work.
very vanilla.
Yeah, it's very vanilla, very plain. And follows that same formula that we all know. And
exactly, it wasn't really anything new. Like it involved some cool characters. Like you said, it had some cool moments. Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio was awesome. Yeah, and excited to see more of that. But yeah, now I'm ready to kind of see them, like, I would imagine that they're probably like, okay, now it's a little, and ramp this up and get crazy.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland even said that, you know, like he read the script for a third one and that it's insane.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't expect this.
No, I didn't expect to see that.
But yeah, I'm almost 100% convinced that I am. Like, I think Garfield and Maguire have already had their talks.
Yep.
I think they've already signed the documents.
I think so too.
And I think it's only a matter of time before we get more confirmation.
And I was also saying before how, you know, not a lot of stuff in the MCU excites me going forward. Mm-hmm. If they are able to pull this off and it happens how I think it's going to happen with, you know, Toby coming back and Garfield coming back, and it's this massive Spider-Man team-up movie against the Sinister Six, that's fucking huge, man.
Yeah.
That's absolutely massive. And much like what DC's doing with The Flash, where they're bringing kind of Keaton back to kind of get that nostalgia, this is the same kind of deal, because
Keaton's gonna be in two multiverses.
He's gonna be two multiverses, man. He's crushing it right now.
God, I love you, Keaton. Good for you, man. I fucking love that, man.
The other thing I wanted to ask, so they're doing, if they're doing some sort of a Spider-Verse scenario, do you bring Miles in?
No.
Not yet?
No, I don't think so. I think Miles is at home in the animated world. Let him live there. He's already got it. You know, like I don't want to.
Because Miles has already been referenced.
Right. I mean, he's already been referenced, but like, let's focus on Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Let's focus on the live action.
Okay.
You know, and then maybe down the road, because I think right now, like I would imagine that a lot of people want to see Miles.
Right. Well, also too, because Miles' popularity is really high right now, because he had Into the Spider-Verse,
the video game,
and the video game that's coming out. So he's riding high right now. So I mean, if it's not yet, I think he's in the plans for the future.
I think in the future for sure.
Because we also don't know how far off. If we do get this Spider-Verse movie, how far off it is. Like, it could be a couple years. I mean, I'm assuming that
it might not be
like this Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland team up. We might not get this for a while.
Right.
You know,
but if that's the case, and even more so.
Right.
Then, like, while that's being established, the live action's being established, then keep establishing your animated world. You don't really have to mix them both. You know?
Now I'm of two mindsets, because I would like to see a live action Miles.
Me too.
And I think that depending on how far off this Spider-Verse movie is, maybe that's when he gets introduced. He's not full blown Spider-Man Miles, but maybe the character pops up in that.
Right, rather than just being referenced.
Yeah.
Right, and again, like we said, Sinister Six at this point is already almost
We
100.
we kind of have it now.
It's
at this
already
point,
confirmed,
right?
right? Because we have, well, if we're going from just MCU, right? We
Yes.
have Vulture
Right.
and Scorpion, Matt Gargan, who were introduced in
Homecoming.
That's 2. Then we got Mysterio, which is an OG member of
Which we don't know if he's dead or alive.
He's not dead.
I know he's not, but you never know. You never know.
He's not dead. He's coming back. So we got, that's 3 right there.
We're gonna get Craven.
Those are just the 3 MCU villains, just MCU villains.
Right.
Yeah. Now it's only a matter of time of who they're going. It's only a matter of who they're going to introduce in the 3rd one.
Which we know is Craven.
Which do we know it's Craven? Oh well, yeah, because the live action spinoff was announced.
Right.
So we imagine. Right. So Craven's obviously being introduced in the MCU. That's 4. Morbius, that would be 5.
Venom.
Well, Electro, obviously.
Electro.
So right there you have your
But
6.
I don't know.
But you also have Venom, like you said.
Yeah.
So you have your characters there.
Yeah, they're all there.
Exactly, and like we said, the fact that Electro was already established in a different world, then that saves you the hassle of having to introduce someone new because you already have some sort of like familiarity with him.
Right.
And that's like a good like kudos to you, Marvel, for like fucking thinking that way.
Well, I was gonna say because we know how forward thinking Marvel is.
They're extremely forward
the
thinking.
fact that they started planting the seeds a couple years ago, and now we're starting to see it kind of come through.
It's awesome.
Like it's just
so much fun.
like this is wild, and like I also, man, like it's just there's a lot, and like I'm happy to see Raimi back directing, and I really hope that he gets a crack at like I want to see him direct this Spider-Verse movie now.
Oh really?
I do. I want to see him direct it.
I know a lot of people aren't crazy with Sam Raimi because of his like sort of campy, goofy elements, but
Right.
like we were talking about, I think Marvel is, one of the reasons they're the greatest, greatest, well, they're good collaborators.
They're good collaborators, and I feel like that certain directors' tendencies, like maybe if they get a little too crazy, they're able to kind of hone it, tone it down a little bit with certain aspects. And I think with Raimi, like because with Spider-Man, like there's certain sequences that are goofy as fuck. You just can't get around it. I mean, we love them, but they
Spider-Man
are.
3 really, like the first 2 not so much. It's really Spider-Man 3 that just got like out of control.
There's a little bit of goofy shit. In the first 2?
In
the first 2, a little bit.
Yeah, but not like it's not
No, it's not the dance sequence from Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
but,
not just that, but even like
it.
the acting in the beginning when Peter goes to see her play, and he's like singing along.
Yeah,
and it's like very goofy.
I know.
And like just that move, like I don't. Who knows? But I love that movie though. It's right here, Spider-Man 3, right there. You can't see it's inside, but whatever. But like it kind of both. So it's like they're good enough to be like, all right, you can do your thing, but they have a way of sort of maybe keeping directors in check. Mm-hmm. But they also, like you said, for whatever reason, they also let certain directors go crazy, like Taika and James Gunn. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm with you. The fact, despite what you may think of Sam Raimi's sort of directing style and vision, kind of trust in Marvel to be like, look, we're gonna mix best of both worlds. Like, you want give me a list of the things you want to do. Like, okay, all these things work, but we don't think these 3 will work. And then they'll kind of hash it out as to like, okay, how can we kind of compromise and whatever things like that. But yeah, well, I'm super excited.
Well, as I say, we're going to get a really good idea of that collaboration with Doctor Strange.
Exactly.
To see how it plays out. And I think if that ends up being really successful and it turns out really well, yeah, fuck it, get him for this live action Spider-Verse.
We're gonna get a Bruce Campbell cameo in the MCU, which I cannot wait. I love Bruce. Bruce Campbell can low key play so many superheroes.
He can,
like so many. He can play Superman. He can play Batman. Like you literally. Like it's insane how much that like
Bruce Campbell kind of came up. I think he came up too early, man. I love Bruce Campbell and I love every role that he's played. But like if he was like up and coming like now, he'd be crushing it.
Yeah,
he'd be crushing so much right now.
100%. But yeah, actually there's one thing I want to ask you.
Okay.
Since we're getting sort of like multiverse crossing. Okay. So we're getting these different actors and characters from like the different Spider-Man worlds. Okay.
Right.
We're big music sluts, big scores and composers. Do you think we'll get? Do you think we'll get a Hans Zimmer because he did Amazing Spider-Man?
Right.
Michael Giacchino collaboration.
Right.
With Nickelback in there for the first Spider-Man.
Dude, if I don't hear,
oh my god, I have no idea how hard it was to hold it together. Oh my god,
dude, I better hear. What is it? And they say that a hero can save us.
I'm not gonna stand here and wait.
so good.
Well, I see, because what I thought you were going for, I thought you were being serious for a second and saying, are we going to get a Zimmer, Giacchino, and Danny Elfman collaboration for the score?
Yeah, I was
You're trying to set me up for
purposely
that?
misleading you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, because I know how much you love the Spider-Man Elfman music. I do as well. It's a fantastic score. But yeah, I just had to throw that out.
Or you
there.
didn't keep it together.
Bro, it took a lot.
Bro.
It took a lot for me to keep it together. I thought about it earlier today, and I just started dying to myself. You know how I am.
I know.
Always fucking laughing at myself. But I'm like, oh, I can't wait to bring it up. But actually, that would actually be interesting.
Yeah.
If all composers got together.
That'd be fucking Avengers coming together of composers,
baby.
bro. That'd be insane.
You got like pretty much one of the hottest now. Mm-hmm. One like the veterans, and then one like who like literally made a name for himself in superhero films.
Yes,
was Batman and with Elfman, with both Batman and Spider-Man films. So yeah, I'm excited for this.
We'll definitely see how this plays out, but I hope we get more news of this soon because like this could be huge.
Yeah,
this could be huge.
It's gonna be a massive event, and this is how you just keep that excitement going. This is how you keep the fans coming back for more.
Yep.
And yeah, like you said, at first like that excitement sort of died off. Mm-hmm. And then we got Far From Home, which we both just said we weren't too crazy about. But now we're like with everything on Disney Plus, with these new announcements, like
MCU's hot. MCU's getting hot again. They're getting hot again.
They were quiet for a while.
They were quiet for a long time.
And yeah, obviously Black Widow, we would have gotten that originally, but 2020.
Yeah.
But yeah, now they're trying to like they're reminding us why they're the big fucking heavy hitters,
right.
And we're biting.
I know
we are biting hard. So I'm all about it. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, me too. All right, that does it for us, Nerds Nation. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube page. And remember, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else where you see that big, beautiful FN logo.
Oh, yeah. And let us know if you want Nickelback to come back.
Yeah.
Or Dashboard Confessional. Dashboard Confessional.
Oh, yeah. Spider-Man 2 had a dope soundtrack.
Yeah, Vindicated. And Dashboard Confessional was one of my they were actually my favorite band growing up.
Really?
Yeah, hands down. Stolen, Vindicated. I was a big Chris Carrabba and a Dashboard Confessional fan. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, for listening. This is, I guess, in a way, sort of our new format.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoyed it, and if you really couldn't tell a difference, then all right, cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
Like we like to say, but thank you, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yep.